Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and this is Eve's Rising Tarot, and this is a general collective love reading for the person on your mind. It's good for all signs and it is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, if it connects with your experience and it helps you to see clarity and a path forward in your experience that feels intuitively right, then it's for you. Keep in mind, because it's a general reading, it may not fully resonate with you. And in order to get the most from this reading, I would ask that you connect with your intuition. Be in a state of mind where you trust your intuitive guidance as well, as that will help you to determine what messages are meant for you in the reading and what are meant to be left behind. It's impossible to, connect with everyone's specific story, so keep that in mind as you listen. And let's get into it. Let's check in with your person and see how they're feeling, how they're thinking about this connection overall. How is your person thinking and feeling about this connection overall? Okay, so the first one that came out was conflict. Clashing differences, incompatibility. So you and your person may be not getting along or not seeing eye to eye at this time. Aware of your differences and feeling in a sense that these differences might be something that could lead to an incompatibility issue. So this is your person. They're trying to navigate, the differences in your character, in your beliefs, in the way you navigate life. And thinking. Missing you, craving, desire. So in their mind, a lot. In their mind, possibly creating this conflict. In their thinking, in their thoughts, possibly creating these stories of incompatibility. And let's get one more. Feeling kind of caged in or looking at you from a distance, watching you maybe. Let's see, 2 wanted to come out. Intimacy, bonding, sensual, confiding, and possibilities. Intimacy. Let me get one of these. And then we have possibilities, free-spirited, adventure, and risks. This could be the incompatibility. Your person, this may be, the narrative of your experience is that your person feels confined behind this, this window, looking outward into the possibility of the world, but not actually being in it, not actually operating in it, not actually stepping into and experimenting and having faith and exploring with what is possible in this life. And they see you as somebody who is doing that. And this is the conflict within, is your person is seeing what you're doing in some way, and they're in awe of it. They're craving it. They desire to be with you, and it's, heavy on their mind. They crave being with you, possibly in an intimate setting. With this bonfire, it could have been a time, where you were intimate with this person out in nature or outside. They see you as free-spirited. Somebody who takes risks, somebody who doesn't let those around them or society or, whomever might have an imprint or influence over the masses tell them what to do. They march to the beat of their own drum. You are this person. And you are showing this person that there is a world of possibility outside of this safe home and wall and perimeter that this person has lived within for so long. They feel almost as if they could confide in you and explain this way, but in some way you've lit a fire within this person, and you have brought light and awareness and consciousness into aspects of this person that were once dark and operating behind the scenes, shadows, right? Your warmth is melting this person's coldness, this person's doubt, this person's resistance to looking beyond the veil, asking what else is there, right? For your person, I feel like all of these cards are kind of like, I don't know, they just have a vibe to them, like dark, icy, behind the fogged window, a fire in the darkness. And then there's how they're viewing you and this connection and what it's done. It's shown them possibility. It's shown them without a shadow of a doubt that there is possibility if you step out and you take a risk. If you follow that fire within, that burning in your belly, right? You allow your spirit to rise and to go beyond what the ego tells you is possible. This person sees this in you, and it's something they've not experienced or witnessed in a person before, outside of movies or non-realistic setting. Resistance on the bottom. Suppressing, timid, secret admirer. They do admire you. They do feel this resistance of your heat, your free-spirited fire is warming up their coldness and possibly judgment in how you live your life. Your person is slowly, because of what they're seeing you do, warming up to this new consciousness, this new way of seeing life and possibility, themselves, you, purpose. Okay, I'm going to be able to see these so I can reference them if I need throughout the reading. That there. Okay. And what is your person's and your energies towards one another right now? Your person is feeling a lot of emotion, kind of consumed by it, feeling alone, possibly that no one else understands the way that they're starting to see their life, themselves, and you as a result of meeting you. It feels like waters they have to navigate by themselves. But they don't have to navigate them by themselves. Your person may be feeling called, or the desire or the energy of wanting to reach out to you, but feeling timid and suppressing this desire to connect with you. Being this conflict is in black and white, right? Clashing differences. Also, Nine of Pentacles just popped out, and this feels like you being this free-spirited adventurer and risk-taker, and not only verbally saying that there's possibility in life that is unseen and untapped by most, but you're living it, you're showing it, you're breathing it. You are embodying this possibility and this abundance in areas where this person's upbringing or beliefs, in some sense, have told them that nothing exists in the terrain that you reside and operate on, and are pushing beyond even where you're at. And this is the conflict that's happening within. That's not possible. How are you doing this? I can't believe they're doing that. Like there's an aspect of feeling mind blown, and what they're witnessing and what they're seeing is not. It's incomprehensible to the beliefs that are set in place for your person. You're blowing your person's mind, and it's because you are creating abundance by yourself. And they're recognizing with this fire, I feel like you are simply a person who is following their passion, who is following what they believe to be purpose and meaningful and intuitively what your compass is guiding you to do. And the conflict, the incompatibility is that perhaps your person, if this is aligning with you, is that they don't feel that they are capable of living life in the way that you live life, or in the way that you are pursuing your goals. But there is the desire. There is a missing you. There is a craving to be with you, and you are heavy on this person's mind. Okay. How are you and your person viewing each other? The strongest energy right now of how you are each viewing one another, feeling towards one another individually rather than the connection. Your overall energies towards one another. Okay, your energy towards your person. Page of Wands. Inspired. You're also inspired by this person. You feel that this person brought you out of a barren wasteland of emotions and existence, and they tapped you into or opened the door in some sense of your internal experience, your subconscious, to see light in a direction that you didn't realize before meeting them. It has your attention and it's wholly consuming. There's a sense of gratitude, and even though you feel youthful, inexperienced, some naivety, you know that this new door that just opened, you're right at home there. It's a place that you've been before, and that you are anticipating and really looking forward to going again. Okay, their energy towards you. Six of Swords. I feel like this person is ready to leave this resistance, this isolation, this suppressing their feelings behind. It's done nothing for your person. Holding back, keeping things unsaid, missing you, creating elaborate thoughts in their mind of what they would do and what they wish they could do and why, all of these things. But they're ready to leave that behind and go towards something else that they are being guided intuitively from their higher inner guidance. Maybe a new start that is more understanding, more compassionate, more peaceful, more open, more vulnerable. Your person wants new with you, but different. The old way they know didn't work, and they're sick of being timid and standing on the sidelines while this experience passes them by. They're ready to move forward, feeling inspired as well by your risk-taking, your stepping out into something that is uncomfortable, something that you had no reason to believe would work out other than the faith and the knowingness and the belief behind that it would. Missing you. Six of Cups. Nostalgic, right? Thinking of you. Craving, desiring. Okay, let's see. What is the strongest connecting energy between you and them at this time? Strongest connecting love energy. Strongest connecting love energy, Spirit. Let's see. Too many fell out. Let's try again. 1C. What's the strongest connecting love energy between the viewer and their person? Spirit, please show me what I need to see. Old wounds and patterns. And this came out in the last reading. Old wounds and patterns. We attract what we need to heal. Often we find ourselves attracting the same type of people or situations that are not the best for us. Until we choose to find the common denominator of what we need to heal and release, the cycle will continue. Go within to heal the pain, layer by layer, to find joy again. Through the lens of each other and the experience you're having with one another. And I see, and you can't tell in this, but if you look really closely in here, you see a reflection, and it's the crisscross paneling of a window. This person behind this window, behind these old conflicting beliefs that are directly at war between what this person knew to be the truth and now what they're witnessing firsthand to be possibility that you're showing them. This person is shucking off the old, crumbly, hard exterior of limitation. As are you being asked to do this in your own experience? Is there a window of safety and a shelter of safety and understanding that you have, in some sense, built around yourself, that you're being called to step through? What is the common denominator in what you're witnessing this person do or not do, and what you are witnessing yourself do or not do? As there's only an eye here and there's no mouth, right? Could it be a resistance to voicing what it is that you feel and think and want? Is it, I mean, for your person, with the Six of Swords, I think what I had said was, what did I say? And it's left me. Leaving the old behind, going towards the new. The turbulence. Go within to heal the pain. Feeling the resistance, right? Suppressing, being timid. Oh yes, standing on the sidelines. Your person has, in a way, they're not ready fully to invite you into their experience, but they are, and they have welcomed a higher power into their experience and to their trusting circle. And this person is heeding, listening, and following the guidance that they're receiving from this higher power. This could be the power of prayer. This could be your person stepping into a spiritual practice that has, produced results, that is little by little reinforced faith. This turbulence is fear, suppression, right? Resistance. Why do we suppress? Why do we resist? Because some underlying emotion is being experienced or being avoided experiencing, right? That might be a fear or a distrust in where it's going and what it's doing. Perspective. This is on the bottom of the deck. A change in perspective is needed to view you or the situation with compassion. Come out of the cave, right? And this feels like the shelter that's been built around, and all that each of you are seeing is a very limited perspective of the experience and of the possibility of the experience. So this is a call to step out of this window, this, and it's rose colored too, right? It's sweet, it's comfortable, it's predictable, wherever it is that we're hiding behind, right? A change in perspective is needed to view you or the situation with compassion. The root core of pain is often associated with how you may view yourself or the situation from a wounded place. Choose to heal this bridge, or choosing to heal this brings the broken pieces back together to create a healthy viewpoint. Distorted view and old patterns. Old wounds are causing each of you in your own experience to see this person, this connection, through a very distorted window and lens. You're in the safety of the cave where nothing is behind you. You can look on right and left and your peripherals, you know they're safe. So all that you can see and trust and be prepared for is what's in front of you. And this is a very distorted view and limiting perspective, and a limiting way in which to live life. It limits the potential of what God can create for you. So strongest connecting energies, old wounds, and limited, almost fearful or distrustful perspective. Okay. And I want to, because it talks about old wounding, I think I have it here. I think it's a deck called Sacred Woundings or something like that I got on Etsy. It's kind of cool. Let's get some perspective for each of you. Old wounds, and because of these old wounds, this distorted perspectives. Let's get a clarifier on this for you and for your person. If we can organize these cards. Okay. Spirit, please clarify the strongest connecting energy between the viewer and their person, the one they're here for. Why old wounds and patterns and distorted view and perspective? Please clarify this. Please clarify this for the collective. One for the collective and one for their person, please. Okay. Okay, so we have one for each. Two popped out. Perfect. Okay, on your side, clarifying this connecting energy. Needing to heal an inferiority wound. This will show up as a feeling of inadequacy, self-doubt, or a constant need to prove oneself. This wound may manifest as a fear of failure, comparing oneself to others, or avoiding challenges due to the belief that you're not good enough or worthy of success. So this is coming out on your side. Take it if it feels, if there's a resistance, like that's not me, that's not what's happening, and you feel connected to this reading, feel into that and see if there's something there. Look deeper than the ego is possible of looking. When nobody's there, maybe step into journaling and talk to yourself with the awareness that nobody is going to read that journal. How do I feel about the potential of having an inferiority wound? What would that look like, and how is it possibly manifesting in my day-to-day and in my connections? Okay, so that is what we are showing for you and for your person. Old wounds, patterns, distorted view and perspective, needing to address fear of being perceived. And that does feel very outlined and visually displayed here. The perspective is from a cave, protected from behind, left and right, watching for whomever will come into the life and the experience from one spot. I can see where it is and I'm ready for it. And it feels like an animal backed into a corner. Fight or flight, maybe very defensive. Always watching that window, right? Is this limited perspective of I'm ready for it when it comes to me, but I'm not ready to step out into the full potential of experience outside of this protective cave. This cave feels safe, and out of this cave, out of this shelter, there is no safety, there is no guarantee. I'm exposed. I can be seen, and I don't feel safe in being seen. So your person needing to address a fear of being perceived will show up as anxiety or discomfort around how others view you, often rooted in past experiences of being misunderstood or criticized. It may manifest as self-consciousness, avoiding attention, or altering your behavior to fit in, urging you to embrace your true self and release the need for external validation. So, often rooted, but not fully as the only source, in criticism and being misunderstood. And needing to address a fear of being perceived. What happens if your person comes out of this cave? What happens if they're fully exposed? This is the terrain your person is navigating right now. In their thinking, trying to understand why they feel such you're right there, but you're so far away, right? This clashing, what your energy and experience is calling your person to do is come out of the cave. Face that fear of being exposed and vulnerable and seen. And only in that way can we as individuals, when we're overcoming this type of resistance, then understand with faith and a knowingness that which has already happened does not have to keep repeating itself. We have the divine will to choose different. And that was 27:27 on the clock, so that could mean something. Okay. What is the strongest crossing? So this is where you're meeting. You're both showing one another wounds. And in some way, and in your experience, you're in a cave of your own making, watching for things that make you feel unsafe or out of sorts with yourself. Perhaps a fear of being seen for your truth and a distorted view of who you are and what you bring to the table and your true divine value. The Weaver. And I feel like that was more clarifying what I was saying and channeling to you. You choose who you are. And if you've chose to let society or people tell you who you are, that's still a choice. You made that choice to allow that. And just as easily as you made the choice to allow that, you can make the choice to choose to be in alignment with who you actually are, right? You are the weaver of your reality. Okay. Inferiority wound. Okay, what is the strongest crossing love energy between you and your person? Strongest crossing love energy. Spirit, please show me what I need to see. The dough. The dough. I see deer a lot where I live. And deer, what's coming to me in a thought that I always have when I see deer is they're so intelligent when they hear a stick crack, right? They're alert and their little satellite and like bunny ears are like all over the place, watching for the danger, right? Of that little stick that clicks when a possible predator is approaching them. But when they hear the rumble of like a Dodge Ram truck, it's right over the head. So there's a hypervigilance and a crossing, right? As the crossing energy is, the little details are the things that are standing in the way or are producing fear or discomfort. And the bigger picture is being missed entirely, which is like a really true threat, right? And I want to read about this. The doe. Okay, let's see. Aha, right to it. That's cool. Keywords: benevolent, nurturing, and perceptive. And also, was that over here? Perceptive? No, I thought I'd seen that somewhere. I guess not. Oh, fear of being perceived. And the doe, right? Perceptive. So for your person. Okay. Above all else, the doe is a nurturer, benevolent and watchful. She is the caretaker of other living creatures. The doe's gentle presence and supportive nature represents unconditional love and life-giving energy. If the doe focuses on her own desire to be needed, seeing it as essential for her happiness, she can become smothering and overprotective. The doe can manipulate those she cares for in order to keep them close to her out of fear of being left behind. She is a reminder to love freely without conditions and to love boldly, casting aside the fear of being alone. So, two narratives and messages here. The what came to me initially is the doe being afraid and sparked and triggered by the crack of a stick in the distance, but not hearing or seeing a threat in the huge truck that's coming straight on at them in the headlights, right? So this could also be, right, this embracing the comfort of being in your own energy, not feeling or believing that you need other people, but rather other people bring value to the life. Crossing energy. I want to get a little bit more about that. The doe. Spirit, please clarify doe for the viewer and for their person. One card for each, please. Show me what I need to see. Why doe as the crossing energy strongest between the viewer and their person? Why doe? And what had also come to me in this reading is that the doe is, a giver of unconditional love and a true depth of heart and caring for those in their life. And this could describe who you are and how you operate. This also, being a crossing energy, could come from that inferiority wound, right? That smothering or needing to be there intensely for the person because it makes you feel relevant and present in the experience, but it may be having the opposite effect on your experience with your person. Okay, let's see. For you, clarifying this doe energy, there is no answer. The aligned outcome for you is simple, but not necessarily easy. Commit your goals to heart each day and know every single action will take you closer to them. There is no answer. The aligned outcome for you is simple. The answer and understanding to how to navigate forward in this experience with your person is right in front of you, like that Dodge truck, right? Like that huge growling engine. But your focus, because of old wounds and this distorted view, has you looking for the little things. The little details are tripping you up rather than the bigger picture. And this is very much so the ego. What the ego does is it creates a world of problems and distractions and distorts you from the path that's right ahead of you. And from this deer, it looks like, right? Walk towards this light, this awareness of consciousness. this greater understanding of the self, but looking back away from that light towards the stick that cracked behind them, towards that perceived fear, also looking behind them. This could be old wounds of the past, a pattern of looking back and distrusting because of a wound. And this is the distorted view. It's time to look forward. Okay, there is an answer. You are the answer. I am the answer. Commit to your goals to heart each day and know every single action will take you closer to them. So keep going towards the light of self-awareness. Keep making it a goal to think effectively and to check in with your thoughts often, several times throughout your day, to ensure that your thoughts are faith-based. Because what you think now creates your tomorrow. Okay, clarifying this dough energy for your person. I need to escape. The stick that crunched behind me, I need to escape. The root of the issue for your person will make itself known. They're being asked to be open to the information they receive from their body, mind, and environment. Reconnect. So the true statement for your person clarifying the dough is, I am present. So this is faith. This is stepping into the present, the power and the sovereignty of the present moment. This is the doorway forward, right? This need to escape is the old wounding, is the fish hook and the line that's pulling their attention this way and that way, away from the path that is this Dodge truck right here, like with the huge, like look at the bigger picture here. That is, those are very skittish, always looking around, distrustful. They find their power and their support in groups and herds, right? They're rarely by themselves. Okay. And this for you, there is no answer. Clarifying the dough. There is an answer, and you are the answer. What you do, how you navigate, and the actions you take are what determine happens here. There is no answer externally. You're looking externally with this yellow energy, this ego, problem solving, and the logic and the sense and the reason. Cleanse and go within and align with presence and take one step forward, and the next step will be shown. Let's see if there's more that can come out. Let's see. What more can we understand about the dough? Why the dough? And also noticing the similarity in the resistance. A very interesting perspective. So your person and how they're viewing this connection is they're looking into this just infinite, endless, and not seeing like a way forward. And your person, right, I feel like this is also them as well, being distracted by little details that aren't relevant or that don't deserve energy and life force and attention. This confusion, this is the perceived boundary of comfort. And beyond it, once the steps are taken, the path appears. And that's this light. So both of you are looking back in some sense and not seeing answers in the path you're going, but this is a message to have faith that if you are going in a direction that you feel intuitively guided to go and you're coming across confusion and resistance, keep going. That is your path. Okay. Clarify this dough, Spirit. What more can you tell us about the doe? Why the doe? Guarded. Holding patterns. Security. Security at all costs. Blocked heart chakra. A fear of vulnerability. The expression on these characters' faces is very distrustful. I picture them inside the cave, looking out, waiting for whatever that wound is telling you, each of you is coming. Distrustful, guarded. A blocked heart chakra, doubts, lonely, negativity, not hopeful, and discontent. Holding patterns, security at all costs. It's true, the doe will snap into, its survival mindset and run from everything before they even see what it is, just to be safe, right? Security at all costs. Run from the stick. But it might just be, your comrade or your other doe friend in the herd. So that feels also relevant and like a message, right? Security at all costs. Navigating heavily from your survival instincts. Possibly a dysregulated nervous system that's easily triggered and out of sorts when even little things happen. Okay, let's see. What do I want to get about that? What does Spirit want you to know right now? What does Spirit want you to bring your awareness to right now? What does Spirit want you to bring your awareness to? Inner power. And that came out in the last reading. Inner power. You are the sovereign. There is just a way of viewing life that is... whose bread was designed and imprinted from your surroundings, your family, your friends, society. And it's for you, you're stepping into an awareness that you are the author. You're the director, you're the actors, you're the everything. I am the answer. I recognize my significance and embrace my true strength. In the face of adversity, I remain steadfast. If I stumble, I rise, knowing I am filled with the power of the universe. I accept and appreciate myself, for I hold the most precious treasures within. The light of the universe shines through me. Your soul, you're a spark of God, having an experience, and limited only by your belief systems and the house and the cave and the shelter that you have built around yourself. It served a purpose and helped you at one point in your life, but it is now holding you from possibility and potential and adventure. You have the power, and it all starts in your thoughts. What are your thoughts doing right now, and are they supporting the creation of what you would like to have in your life, or taking away from it? Okay, let's see. And I want to get guidance. Let's get some guidance from Spirit. What actionable guidance does Spirit have for you at this time in this connection? In turning the gaze upon yourself and reflecting and looking at you and what part you play in this co-creation with your person, what advice does Spirit have for you? Okay. The collective. All is connected, collective growth, and supported. The imagery on that's really cool. The connection between what Spirit wants you to bring your awareness to, which is your inner power, and the collective. Like it looks like this is how it would appear, right? You are this, and this is the light of heaven that has come down and is within all of us, right? We are all one. That inner spark within you is interwoven and connected. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day about one way to just see how intimately we are connected with everything is like your gut biome and your bacteria in your gut and your immune system, right? You don't tell your immune system to fight this or that. It just knows. It doesn't. Is that a consciousness within that makes these decisions based on the circumstances and the environment? Yes. We are all consciousness, right? If I get into a deep enough meditative state with a crystal in my hand, I can feel it vibrate. There is life. There is movement within it. There is consciousness in all, right? God didn't create life and the earth and step back on a cloud and just say, good luck. God became this experience. God is interwoven in everything. There is no separation between you and God. It is one. It is only the placement of ego that allows us to believe that we are separate from one another and from all, right? And that is the path and the purpose of life, is to see beyond the limitation. And beyond that is where you find the fruits and the beauty and the bliss and everything that your heart desires. The collective. Number 9 also could mean something. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what page that one is on. 256. Okay. What is the collective consciousness? We are a collective, connected as one, having an individual experience. We live this life as a single person, but we are all connected to each other. The collective consciousness card is a reminder that on an energetic level, we are all intertwined. It is easy to become disconnected from others and get lost in our individual experience. But take a moment to remember that we are all in this together. We are a divine collective sharing this planet and this life. We are not alone. Because we are all connected, what affects one group can affect the entire collective. We can try to think of ourselves as separate, but when catastrophe strikes one country, there is a heaviness felt around the world. We saw this with the 2020 global pandemic. Many of those relatively unaffected could still feel the heaviness of the world as it went through the pain. To connect with the collective, it is to connect to the universe. You can tap into collective knowledge, ancestors, past lives, guides, and other realms, zooming out and gaining a wider perspective of your life. The collective evolution. This card is also about collective evolution. As we evolve and heal on our own journey, we are raising the vibration of the collective. It's important to do what we can to help lift others as well. Since we are all connected, we need each other to evolve and embody a more conscious lifestyle on this planet. Stay grounded and follow the flow. Lastly, this card encourages you to connect with the flow of the whole while staying grounded and connected to your own energy, so that you don't constantly leave yourself open. When you connect to the light and let it tap you into the flow your life can take. The people it can connect you with and the path you can walk, right? And all of this is beyond where you are residing, behind this shelter, this wall, this separate, right? I see this shelter as what lies before this person in this image, right? It looks like there's nothing there and there's nothing beyond it. And how would I swim that far? Who knows what country is, on the other side? So the potential is in moving forward if that is what you're being guided to do. Again, so when you connect to the light and let it tap you into the flow of the flow your life can take. And that also, right, being the crossing energy, the doe is looking at us rather than towards that light. Distracted. Old wounds and distorted perspective are causing you both to look in directions that are not expansive or supporting you in the experience and in life. Guarded and right security at all costs is what connects with this doe energy. A doe runs from perceived fear before they even know what it is because it's survival mechanism. But this is a base level of operating. This is how an animal operates. So for an intelligent, multidimensional human with infinite potential of what we can create, that worldview is distorted and does not match. You are operating from base survival. Towards this connection in some way, this is the blockage. You're running from this person and this connection in some way before you've even seen that there's anything to truly run from. That could mean that this person triggers you very, from an outside perspective, what would be very easily. But this could be those old wounds, this inferiority wound, and for your person, the fear of being seen and perceived wound. Fear of being perceived, right? A doe fearing to be perceived. If a cougar sees them, there's less of a chance of survival. But if they run before the cougar sees them, or the bear, or whatever it is, they have a greater chance of survival. So these old wounds are the distortion. They are the window panes of the reality that you're both looking outward into this connection from behind. The people it can connect you with and the path you can walk is the flow of your life, right? Let it also connect you with the influence you can have on the world around you. So for potential blocks which could speak to this, let's see. You might be going too big and getting lost in the collective, its massive scale and the many planes of existence. If this is you, it's time to bring it back down to a smaller scale and reconnect with yourself and your own divine and human energy. Create a foundation for yourself and from there tap into a broader scale and let yourself be guided so that you aren't swept away. And this could also be, again, I keep getting pulled back to this. It's like kind of feeling so much, maybe with your person and yourself, looking at the full potential and feeling it's massively overwhelming and emotionally just too intense. Step back into yourself and your present moment and step out of the stories and the possibilities that the stories are creating and step into what's before you right now and what choice you have. And the way you operate and look at this connection is based in either fear or faith. Which one are you choosing? And this could be also, I had mentioned, I don't know what brought it up, but speaking up. Okay. Another block could be that you feel isolated and alone in this world and are disconnected from the wider collective. Remember, and that is what feels right here for I was drawn to this line that divides, the flicker that divides between, the light and the dark. Walk the line. And Johnny Cash, is that a Johnny Cash song? Something walk the line. The middle way is the way. It's not over here in complete, intense full understanding of the universal truths. We can't process that with our current faculties. We have to slowly do that. And as we walk the line, things become more illuminated and our understandings are greater. But in the darkness, we see nothing. We stay ignorant. But the darkness gets uncomfortable when it's time to move. When it's time to walk towards the light, the universe and the higher power causes us to feel discomfort. That's supposed to be the fire under us that causes us to seek something better. But some of us get comfortable in that burning butt, you know? Okay. Another block could be that you feel isolated and alone in this world and are disconnected from the wider collective. Remember that outside of your little bubble is an entire world of people, and their collective energy is connected to you. The last block could be that as an empath, you are tapped into the suffering of the world to an unhealthy extent. Too open, right? Not protecting your energy, taking on the weight of the entire life experience and feeling the burden of that. But that's not your purpose. That's not your reasoning and meaning behind being here, is to take on the pain of others. Like, that serves no purpose. Remember that you cannot take away people's suffering, and that feeling all the pain of others actually won't help them. It just hinders you. You can provide support, donate charities, volunteer, and help however you can, but taking on all of the pain will drag you down and keep you from being able to live to your fullest capacity. Start to practice compassion instead of empathy. And if you need to look up at dictionary.com what compassion is versus empathy, right? There is a more grounded form of connection where you don't actually take on other people's energy and suffering. When you remain grounded and connected to your own energy, you can better help the world. All right, and that is the guidance, the collective. So for you, the viewer, this could be a message that in some sense you could be taking on too much. You could be separating and taking on nothing because of a fear. It's a message to find the balance in how you navigate towards this, and being open to the truth that it is all connected. We are all connected. And each little piece of that collective, being us, does matter, does have an impact. Thinking effectively. And for the next week, maybe take some time and really check in with yourself and look at your thoughts. It can be more clear when we write our thoughts down and we see how silly they can be, right? Sometimes a story and an elaborate train of thoughts can seem like it makes perfect sense in our thoughts, and then we say it out loud to somebody else and it's like, whoa, it's really quite ridiculous. So there's power in speaking it out loud and letting it be heard, and then using your discernment to understand, is that really something that is true? You know, our minds are wild, and if left unchecked, they can create lots of problems that don't exist. So I want to get a little prayer message for you, and then I will end the reading. What would you like to say to the collective to close the reading out, Spirit? Learn to ride the waves of life when faced with difficult times. You can either fight against the current or go with it. So ask yourself, what is to be gained by depleting your energy fighting against it? Don't do that to yourself. And I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope it was helpful for you. And if the reading connected with you and resonated with you and helped you in some way, please take time to like, share, comment, subscribe. It helps my channel. And I am sending you all so much love. Thank you for spending this time with me and letting me read for you. And I'll talk to you soon.